Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a bit. So here we go. We are coming up on the full moon in Leo on January 25th, 2024. Now, if you're in the Pacific time zone, this will occur at 9:55 a.m. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about this. So I made this graphic in Canva and I figured we could use it here. I'm actually going to be using it for TikTok and some social media posts on Instagram, but we can use it to talk about the full moon. So I do have some notes. I'm just going to briefly go over those. I do have this toolbar I got to move. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, hopefully not. Um, so over here on the left-hand side, we do have rising sign horoscopes. So you can go through this while we're watching the video, while I'm doing the video. And basically, if you're an Aries rising, the full moon will be on your fifth house, Taurus, fourth house, Gemini, third, and so on. Um, I am an Aries rising, so the full moon is in my fifth house. So it's going to be illuminating all the things here, and which is good fortune for me personally. Um, yeah, so basically, I'm just gonna annotate and we'll use the drawing tool. I like pink. We're gonna do pink today. Um, I don't know if I'm ready to annotate or not, but anyways, so the moon is right here at 5 degrees Leo. And this is exactly when the moon opposes the sun at 5 degrees in the opposite sign, Aquarius. This is how we know that this is a full moon. Um, Next to the sun is Pluto at the first degree of Aquarius. Since the sun is such a powerful source of light, it's actually not overpowering, it's obscuring the Pluto light. So we're gonna feel like there's something here, but we can't see it because the sun is so bright. And this energy, it's going to be obscured by the sun. So yes, there is a conjunction happening, but because the planets, well, because Pluto and the sun are so close together, it's not fully felt by us. So we know it's there, we can feel it, but we just can't see it yet. Um, this is happening in the 11th house, so the house of good spirits. So it's this feeling of things are getting better, things feel good. But before that happens, there's this sense of dread or depression or melancholy, and then something good happens to change the energy. So last week, there were quite a few people in my personal life that were going through a melancholic time. So lots of seasonal depression, people that are grouchy or sick even. There's a lot of sickness going on right now. Those are things that are leading up to this energy projecting onto the moon. And this is an opposition. So there's a conflict here. It's like, I want to do better. I want to do things that make me feel good, but I'm also struggling with the cycles of not feeling good. I'm struggling with the cycles of having a habitual way of dealing with the depression or the sadness. I'm gonna clear my annotation. Let me figure out how to do this. Maybe not. Let's see. Eraser, undo, clear. Clear all drawings. Yay, I'm learning. Okay. Next in my notes, let's see. So the sun and Pluto are in the bound of Uranus. So we're looking at Egyptian bounds. Um, this tells us to look at what is happening with Uranus over here in Taurus, retrograde, 19 degrees. Um, so there's a quintile with Saturn, which means that things uh, involving boundaries will reveal a lot. So whether that is upholding boundaries or learning when to put boundaries, it's going to help create some sort of realization or magic around that topic. We also have this semi-square to Venus. So feeling like our values are where we need to create boundaries. And Uranus being the planet of revolution, values not being met, creating revolution, leading to boundaries. Um, the other part of this, which I kind of want to wait until later to get into, is what are your boundaries with your valuables? If you have something of value, how are you protecting it? How are you maintaining it? Um, and we'll get into more of that in a bit. Okay, clear all elements. Let's see. Aquarius is the detriment of the sun. So the sun is in Aquarius. The sun in detriment. It is in the opposite sign that its home is in, which is Leo. Leo is the kingdom of God, and the sun is in the opposite of that, the hell realm, or where things are artificial, really. Since Aquarius is technology and um, artificial intelligence, the sun does not feel like it's welcome here. It's inorganic in this place. In the 11th house, it is in the house of good spirit. So things could be going well, but the sun, the life energy does not feel like it is going well. And this could be fear around technology, fear around artificial intelligence, um, and not trusting things fully. And we see that right now in the news with a lot of different companies that are trying to use artificial intelligence to make things better for their industries, such as the grocery stores now using AI to capture when people are stealing potentially, and aiding the self-checkout associate. So they only have one person at the self-checkout and they can quickly go over and replay what happened at your self-checkout station and see the replay to make sure that nothing was stolen, which is really cool to me. Like when I saw that happen last week when I went to the store, um, it was kind of cool to see that. Like the self-checkout knew that I was taking too long putting something on the bagging area, and I was putting my own bag down, and it was like, why are you taking so long? And then called the associate over to review the footage of me putting the bag and like opening it up and everything. And he was just like, oh yeah, it was the bag, clear. So even though it might be an inconvenience to some people, I thought it was really cool because AI is literally like watching me do my own groceries. Let's see. Aquarius is the fall of Pluto. So we have the sun in detriment. We have Pluto in its fall. It's like two people that don't feel like they belong. And in that state of being a misfit, they create a bond together. I think it's really important that we give other other human beings, um, space to express themselves without taking on that expression as our own. So even though there might be things that are alike between these two, One is the sun and light of the world. One is the dark sun of the underworld. Um, let's clear these annotations. Although it cannot be seen, it can be felt in the air. So we all have this feeling, well, most of us, of something happening, but we just don't know what it is yet. And I've been hearing this for the last like month and a half. And it could be related to Pluto's ingress into Aquarius. It could also just be the sun's influence by going through Capricorn into Aquarius, which is all about revolution as well. Now, when I say revolution, I don't mean like revolution as in like violence, which that is a way of creating revolution, but it's also like revolving around a cycle, taking a different route than the normal cycle. Um, Moon in Leo in the house of good fortune, square Jupiter in the gate of Hades, quincunx Saturn in the house of bad spirit. So this full moon has some hard aspects happening. So we have this square happening between the moon and Jupiter and Taurus in the second house, hitting our finances. Um, right now is not a good time to spend money and to do what we can to save money. And then we also have the quincunx to Saturn and Pisces in the house of bad spirits. So Saturn is literally watching and is like, I got my eye on you and I'm making sure you're doing what I told you to. So again, not a good time to spend money, a great time to save or do what we can to reduce cost. Right now, there is the boycott for watermelon happening. So encouraging people not to spend money, to avoid participating in capitalism in order to create change, in order to make our voices heard about certain subjects that are happening around the world, specifically regarding apartheid states and G-side. I'm not sure if I can say those words here on YouTube, but it's already a habit from TikTok. Um, so yeah, that's also happening. So save money, avoid habits of spending too much, avoid gossip and drama, give others privacy. This is something that um, has been around for the last week. Just letting go of things from the past year, letting go of grudges, letting go of drama and gossip, and not participating. I previously had a conversation with a coworker about gossiping and how I don't want to gossip as much anymore. But it's easy to get into that habit when asking others for help or asking others for guidance in what I do. And not this, but my other job. But we ask questions constantly because it just seems like there's always something we don't know. And then the topic of conversation can easily go into gossip, which I don't want to participate in anymore. Um, Moon and bound of the sun. So we're going to erase these again. So the moon is connected to the sun, and which the sun does not feel comfortable where it's at. So it's reaching to the goddess as she's in the sign Leo, where the sun used to be, where it likes to be at home. Um, Basically, this um, planetary body is reflecting the light of the sun. So it's getting energy from the moon, from Leo, but it's feeling conflicted where light does not shine. So Jupiter in the bound of Venus Jupiter right here in the bound of Venus. I know you can't see it because it's behind that marker. So it's connected to Venus up here. There's actually a trine happening. It's very subtle between these two. So of um, a gift of finances, of prosperity, and holding on to what is valuable to us. 10th house is connected to our reputation and our connection to our parents, things that our parents are known for as well. So, if you had parents that weren't really good at saving money, you could be learning about the importance of that and uh, learning from their experience in contrast to your own. Let's see, Saturn in the bound of Neptune, Saturn right here in the bound of Neptune. And Neptune is in the same sign right here. And Neptune is in the bound of Pluto, which does not feel good in Aquarius. And it may seem like um, there's rigidness or strictness, or uh, there is something that needs to be done, or is going to be done, or is being done in a very straightforward way. I'm thinking of like a task list and it's like going down the list. And then there's also confusion between these two because Neptune is confusion. Um, I think Uranus is confusion. Maybe I'm confused. Anyways, so Neptune is also like spirituality, the mist, the veil. So we can't see it. We know it's there. We know it's around, but we have no idea what's happening. Um, in this 12th house of bad spirit, that means that the energy in this house is malefic. So what we sense in our minds may be misleading for us, which is why it's a really good time to save money. We may think that we're getting a good deal, but in all reality, we're being played type of thing. Let's see, Mars exalted in Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn, even though you can't see it. And in the bound of Venus. So our motivation in regards to our reputation and everything inside of this, because we have a lot of energy collecting together. Um, what we hold valuable to us and how we communicate that is creating movement. It's creating motivation to do more, to save more, to redistribute or redefine our values and communicate with like-minded people and finding other ways to hold on to these things longer. Neptune, okay. So Neptune is in its domicile, Pisces. So Neptune feels good where it's at. Um, but in the 12th house, overall, malefic energy. So even though Neptune feels comfortable and cozy, anything that disturbs it is not going to be comfortable and cozy. Saturn better watch out. Um, and then there's a quintile to Mercury, so uh, magic and gifts from the other side, from the spirit world, because Mercury is a psychopomp who travels between the living and the dead. Uranus next. So Uranus is in its fall in Taurus. It does not want to be here. And in the same sense, it is also retrograde. That's the red. I don't know why I circled that, but it's retrograde. Um, so feeling like things are not changing enough inside of us. Things are not changing enough um, within our ability to change. And in the second house, our valuables, our belongings, our finances. It could also feel like we're being kept away from achieving something and feeling held back from that, which it could be, but it's only temporary. Next, I want to go through the rising sign horoscopes just briefly. Um, so Leo rising, you have the moon illuminating your first house and your body. Cancer rising, you have the moon illuminating your finances. Gemini rising, you have the moon in your third house. I'm such a bad, I'm such a bad astrologer. I don't remember the names of the houses, which is why I write them down in my journal. So Gemini rising, um, moon is in the house of the goddess for you, the goddess being the moon. So earlier I was telling a friend that Gemini is literally chilling during this full moon because we have Gemini right here and there's nothing significant in this sign. Even though this is ruled by Mercury over here, it's still chilling. Like Mercury doesn't even have any horrible aspects to it. It's got a quintile, a trine, and another trine. So I mean, we're doing pretty good for the Gemini risings and Gemini itself. Okay, let's see. Taurus rising, full moon is in your fourth house, the subterraneous place, connecting to our roots, our ancestry. Aries rising, the full moon is in your fifth house, which is the house of good fortune. So creating better habits around fortune. Personally, for me as an Aries rising, I've been budgeting. I've been typing out like literally all of my bills and then my paycheck and deducting what I make and deducting the bills from what I make and then creating a budget from that, uh, which is nice because then I know what I can spend and what I can save. And it's just really nice to know when things are coming in and going out. So it kind of gives me a sense of peace. Okay, Pisces rising. The full moon is going to be in your sixth house, which is bad fortune. So things that are going out, things that are getting away. Um, yeah. Next is Aquarius rising. The full moon is in the setting place. The full moon is going to be in your home life, around property, around your actual like living space. It'll be a great time to clean and organize. And uh, other people are going to be doing their spring cleaning when the sun is in Aries. You can get a head start on that. Okay, Capricorn rising. The full moon is in the idle place, in the place that no one speaks about. So this is a great time for you to prepare your taxes, preparing things that you don't normally speak about with other people. So like if you have something going on with your health, if you have something going on with your finances that you need help with. If you need to reach out to a certain person to help you with the things that you don't talk about publicly, now's the time to do it. Okay, Sagittarius rising. The full moon is going to be in your ninth house or the place of God. So it's going to be in the space of religion, philosophy, higher education. And for you, this is a really cozy place. So yeah, read some books or something. I don't know. I read somewhere recently about reading about esoteric things, occult things, philosophical things can be used as an offering for spirits and deities. So um, get your offering on. Scorpio rising, the full moon is going to be in your 10th house or the midheaven. So it's going to be connected to your reputation and things that your parents are known for. Midheaven is where the sun comes down into the crown. So do some stuff to get that energy going. Okay, Libra rising, the full moon is going to be in your 11th house, the house of good spirit. So you're going to feel light. You're going to feel change and um, abundance during this full moon. Virgo rising, I'm so sorry. The full moon is in your 12th house, the house of bad spirit. It's going to be challenging. The good thing about Virgo energy is that it learns from challenges. And by being challenged, it becomes competitive. It wants to be the best. So, advice is yeah, rise to the occasion, accept the challenge, do your best, but don't beat yourself up if you don't do the best. Um, Trying to get there is, you know, worth something at least. Okay, I think this wraps this up. If this makes sense, give me a like. If this did not make sense, you can not like this. I will be doing a more brief version of this on TikTok and Instagram. So if you want to tune in there, you're more than welcome to. In the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out with me and happy full moon.